Good afternoon. I know you're anxious probably to get started, and I didn't give you a whole lot of directions, so I wanted to finish this up this afternoon so you're ready to go for the week. This project, 2.1.6 Creative Expression, is a project that kind of applies everything you've learned in all of 2.1, Unit 2.1. So when you've done everything in App Inventor you've done so far, you did Digital Doodle to start with, and then accelerometer where you could shift back and forth, and then you did Happy Balance where then you went to the left, to the right, up, down. You've done lots of different kinds of apps, which is great. Well, now they want you to apply a lot of those things that you've learned, but now put it into a project. So I'm going to click over on Project Lead the Way so you can see here what we're doing. We're going to decompose a project into smaller parts, apply coding fundamentals and iterative processes, and develop an app. We're not doing it in pair programming because it's virtual, but you're going to do it like if you were on a team. You're still going to use the steps. So let's go through here and look at what you can pick from. In this project, you can create a game, an interactive story, or an interactive media, music app, that kind of thing. For instance, when you did the guessing game, that was an interactive media. When you did Digital Doodle, I would call that kind of media also. So you're going to see like what the difference is between different things. And let's look at this video, and we're going to watch it together so that you can get an idea of what they're talking about. Okay, so you saw the video. Now they're going to talk about the project. They said you can pick a game, a story, or a music or media app. So you've done some games, like something you would be able to play. There's also a way to add a clock so that it times you out. There's also a way to add a scorekeeper, like a leaderboard. You've done something similar to that. An interactive story would be like a story starting out with a character, and then it picks which door does it want to go through, the door on the left or the door on the right. And then when you do that, it goes to a different screen, and then it goes to new information. So there's interactive stories, and then there's things that you can play that is more media related. So, excuse me. They want you to use your imagination and be creative. And you're not collaborating with another partner, but there's some parameters I want to give you here that you can do. Some of what you've developed, we could change it up, expand on it, make it different. You have the ability to do that, but it needs to change it enough that it's a whole new app. Or you could start from scratch and just do another app. Either way, you're going to document what you do, okay? This is the Word doc part. That when it says the computer notebook, you're going to put it in a Word document. And when it talks about decomposing the problem, we're going to chunk it into separate parts. So you're going to want to name, you're going to decide what you want to do, and then you're going to name it. Sorry, I'm thirsty. Okay, so read through this. There's some really important stuff. When you decide what you're going to do, sometimes you have to ask yourself, can the app be done by Friday? Is the idea worth putting all this time into? Read through the historic highlights. Skip Ellis is a really cool guy, earned his PhD. As a teenager, he became interested in computers. He worked for Xerox, and some of the things he did was like, oh my gosh, he is definitely a trailblazer and unbelievably gifted person. So read through these. These are really cool. And now we're going to talk about how do you choose what idea you want to do. Answer all these questions in your Word document. This will help you kind of decide maybe what you want to choose or what you want it to be about. So in the past, you've made Happy Balance, the guessing game, and so those are games that you could expand on or make something different, but using some of those same skills. A story, an interactive story, is completely new. And interactive media are things like Happy Accelerometer, Digital Doodle. Those were media type things. So review which kind you want to do, and you can click on these links for game, interactive story, or media. And they will help you see some examples so you can maybe make a good decision on what you want to do. And now, when you decide which one, capture all your ideas, write them down in your Word document, and then look at as many ideas as possible, and then think big, like what can I actually do? What'll look cool? What'll I enjoy playing? You do not have to get my approval. You just make a decision after you've brainstormed lots of different ideas. And then you put it together in a plan. So you plan your app, and one of the things they say is create a sketch of the user interface. At least in your Word document, type up kind of some of the things you think it needs to have, some of its features, what will it look like, what do you want it to do, and write those down so that you know as I start getting into coding, then I'm going to follow these examples. Then you have to decide which part do I want to develop first, then second, and then what comes at the end. Predict as best you can about how long you think each part is going to take, and put that under part 7. Now you get into creating. You get to, on step 8, develop each part of the app and test it thoroughly before moving on to the next. Now you actually get into MIT App Inventor and start coding it. Okay. When you get all finished, obviously you're going to save it as an AIA file and turn it in. So you're going to turn in your Word document and your AIA file. And there's a section on here that says you're going to present it. If you were in class with me, we would present it for everybody. But being online doesn't lend itself to that. So you'll be able to just skip the present part. And then there is some things, you can look through it if you want, but there are some things here in the conclusion that gives questions, and you will answer those questions, okay? And then it says, oh, it has some cool stuff about a game app, lots more tips, lots more cool stuff that you can do. And you can see if you go with a game or an interactive story, there's lots of things you can do. If you do the media, lots of cool ideas for this. I can't give you a particular one because I want you to choose what you have an interest in. But these, you don't have to do these. You could do your own idea, but these are some great tips and hints to help you and how to get started and what you might want to do. I'm also going to show you here on MIT App Inventor, if I wanted to do Start New Project, and we'll call it 216 Creative Project. Can't spell. Hershey. Sorry. Okay. That ought to go. Yep. Um, so I can put it all here, but I also have some other tools that I can use. Okay, if I want some help here in the help and I go to tutorials, we're kind of in the beginning, so it's kind of helpful if we use some of the beginning tutorials. Data science. Oh, they got all kinds of stuff. Mole mash. Okay, I'm going to click on the beginning tutorials because I know there's a Pong in here. There's also a keyboard thing in here. Hello, Cody. Talk to me. Ball bounce. Nope. Sorry. There's a magic 8-ball game. You can turn it into a mini, you can turn ball bounce into a mini golf game. You can take digital doodle into being a paint pot. I'm going to go here and look at more. I think there's one. Do we have a search? Yes. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds. There is all kinds of Pong games. So MIT App Inventor, anyone that has App Inventor, these Pong games, you'll see they're little paddles, and it's kind of like accelerometer was. It'll move back and forth, but you can use arrow keys to do the paddles so that you can have it go back and forth, or you can just have it hit the top and do it that way. There's some more. If you feel unsure of how to do it and you need to have some ideas, you might look at some of these because these are really good ones that would give you more idea of what you could do. If you have questions and you're not sure, just email me. I know you're creative. I know you're talented. So I'm excited to see what you develop. And just email me if you have questions about the idea. And if not, I'm looking forward to seeing next weekend the cool apps that you create for me. Thanks and have a great day.